and she's got the membership of the Royal College of Psychiatrists. So if it's okay, I'll just give you a few minutes to talk about yourself, Ade. Hello, Ade, can you hear me? Okay, so while we're waiting for Ade, I think the next person we need to talk about, introduce is our very own Mr. Opala. He's got the membership and the fellowship of the Royal College of Surgeons of England and the Royal College of Surgeons of Edinburgh. So I'll just ask him to introduce himself. Mr. Opala, the mic is yours. Hello? Can you guys hear me? Could you just type if you can hear me? Okay, we're back. Okay, guys, if you can hear me, someone should use their mic so that I know well, things are working. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Yeah, because I was just wondering. Yes, it would be happy if you say a thing or two just about yourself and about the process in the field of surgery and things like that before we get to the agenda of the day.
Oh, okay. I'll put on my video, I guess.
Yes, amazing. Thank you.
Well, my name is Amala Obala. I'm an STA breast trainee currently. I just finished my fellowship exams. I think coming into this country, I really wasn't sure of what I wanted to do, but I think as time went on, I decided to do breast surgery. And getting into the training was a bit difficult, but I came in at a time when people didn't want to do surgery because I think people started appreciating work-life balance a lot more. And also I think Brexit was happened around that time. So I think that gave me the opportunity to go for the interviews and get a training number, and that's how I started basically. Um, Working at the NHS was tough because things are quite different as compared to where we come from. And so I had to drop a lot of things and learn a lot of new things. You had to learn how to speak the language of medicine in another way. And you also had to learn how and when to request the type of investigations that they do here. And you basically just have to step up. That's what it was. Knowing fully well that when you come in as an IMG, your standards have to be higher than your contemporaries because you'll be scrutinized a lot more. So it's a long journey. It's a difficult journey, but it's a journey that when you have the support when you have the support of people around you, people that have walked in those steps, they can always guide you. And the one thing I learned was basically keep your head down and don't be afraid to ask questions. Thank you.
Oh, amazing. Thank you, Mr. Opala, Mr. Amala. So you see, this is the amazing thing. And I think one of the things about working in a different country is, I think amongst anything, if not for anything, is just key to be able to continue to evolve. And I think it's best to learn to evolve forward. And I think one of the things I've seen with sometimes people that don't get what they want is, I think it's important to understand that you have to evolve forward. And I think I used to say this, and I think I posted it one time. It's three things. You have to believe in yourself. And if you believe in God, you have to believe in God. And you have to believe in the process. Those, in my opinion, are probably the only things you can control. Now, if you try and do these three things, you would be successful. So I'm going to get another of our panel to just give, again, another tips that they have. I think we have the amazing Miss Ibi Funke in the building. And it'd be nice to hear from you and also give the listeners tips and just to reassure them that it's possible, it's doable, and our people have been doing it for a very long time. My guardians were FRCS in the 80s. So, I mean, if they could do it in the 80s when, the jungle was still, when the jungle matured, I think we can do it now. So I'll pass the mic to Ibifunke if you have a few minutes to say a thing or two. Is Ibifunke with us? Can you hear me? And so the other thing I'm doing is I'm posting within the chat box the agenda so that we, our audiences can follow the conversation more easily. All right, thanks. I think Ibifunke is a bit busy. I don't know if Ade is available now. Is Ade there? Okay. All right. So I think we'll go now to a more streamlined conversation of the reason for the day. And so the reason for today is the very first thing is you need to master the art of interviewing. It's a talking business. And when I say it's a talking business, I mean it's a talking business. There's none of the interviews where anybody's going to ask you to operate or do anything in real, at least not in the British style. Now, I did show a data that we collect. I think it's worthwhile to go over it again. And so I'm just going to quickly share the PowerPoint that we did because we had issues with the streaming from YouTube. But I think it's very insightful because we need to collect and do our own research so we understand the problems that, affect us. Now, the very first thing you would find here is if you look at these, a lot of people have gotten their GMC registration. Now, people can say it's a small sample size, but I believe even when you make the sample size larger and bigger, you probably end up with the same thing. Now, this is important because it tells you that there's not a lot of challenge from our end to get into the GMC registration. So that's not the biggest challenge. However, now something interesting that I did find, and I spoke to Mr. Amala about this, was there's a high amount of us that do not have the membership of the Royal Colleges. Now, if you look at the history of the United Kingdom, you will know that the Royal Colleges have sort of been the people that pushed the frontier of specialties in this country for a very long time. Now, what that means is the Royal Colleges really very important in deciding the market. Yeah. So one of the things we found from our research done from you guys is there's a low uptake for the Royal College exams. And looking at the current trend that we have in the United Kingdom, it's very likely that this will continue to be used. In fact, in practical terms, it's extremely difficult for you to be appointed to a registrar role without membership. Now, why it's on paper is not impossible, it's going to take you probably 3 times the time. So that's what we found from our research. And our search also did, it also showed that a lot of people are already in the country. Now, if people are already in the country, it's interesting that, they are not moving from being in the country to being into NHS roles. So it tells you there's some issues with access. And one of them that we've identified from research done by us with you guys is there's a low uptake for the Royal College membership exams. Can everyone see my screen? I hope. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes. So the other interesting part was there was a high number of applications and no interviews. And I did speak to Mr. Amala about this. And what we think is one, and I think I agree with him, there's a lot of, I don't know what I go do. If I reach there, I go decide. Yeah? In Hausa, they used to say, wanda bai san lokacin wanda bai san lokacin safe ba zai san lokacin dare ba. What it means is when you don't know when the day breaks, you won't know when the night would fall. So one of the things I have seen with a lot of us is there's this approach that we go do them when we come. I think you need to have a target. I think you need to have a strategy, and I think you need to have a roadmap. So generally succeeding in most of the competitive economy, it's like going for a boxing match. You need to have a strategy that you want to implement. You need to have at least 2 to 3 strategies. Now, when I mentor some people in this group and I coach them, they don't take, sometimes they don't like my style, but they know that I'm saying the truth. So as a man of God, I have to say the truth. So you have to have a strategy, you get me, that you want to implement. So that's partly why you may see there's one of our professors in Zaria, Professor Yumelukwe, one quite very old professor, he said, don't shoot like blunderbusses, that gun, that when you shoot, everything pieces. So you need to have a more streamlined target. That's why we may be seeing a lot of application not streamlined. Of course, the other thing is there's a bit of politics here and there. It's called networking. That's the, I think, language where candidates are technically pre-selected. Yeah. One of the things I think you would find quickly here is people want to see that you are committed to coming to do something. So build on networks, you know, and that's where. And the third is, you know, like we said, you have to have a pre-planned approach to it. We need to stop this anywhere beleface approach. I know some of us, you know, it's not beyond our control, but I don't think this other information are, you know, too relevant in terms of job search. It just says where people. And then don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel so that we can continue to have this engagement. So this, I would stop here.